What is my bio, you mean? Born Missoula, Montana, Eagle Scout. When I was little, I loved to draw guns. And my favorite gun was a Browning automatic water-cooled submachine gun. And I also drew knives, pistols, any kind of army stuff. Then I did some drawings inspired by American Indians. And then I got into oil painting. They were just things, you know, it wasn't like I was in any kind of class. Although in the second grade, I took a painting class, and if I concentrate, I can still smell that room and the feel in that room. It was very beautiful. I didn't realize that a grown person, an adult, could be an artist until I was in the 9th grade and I met Toby Keeler, whose father was a painter. And that conversation I had with Toby changed my life. I've told this story a million times, but when I lived at 13th and Wood in Philadelphia, and I was painting something that was a garden at night, and the green was coming out of darkness. And as I was looking at this, I heard a wind and I saw the painting plants move. And I thought, wow, that's cool. If paintings, you know, moved and there were sounds. So that got me going on my first animated moving painting. That led to going deeper into film, and certain things happened that led me deeper in, and I kept getting green lights. Film to me is sound and picture moving along in time. And it's like music because music, you know, flows through time. And there are movements and there are changes and there's many opportunities when you play with time. Stories they can be abstract and people can still understand them. More often than not, stories are pretty concrete and there's not a lot of room in them for abstractions. And I love abstractions. You have ideas, and I always say the idea is the most important thing. And the idea tells you everything. The idea is like a seed. The tree is in the seed, but it doesn't look like the tree. So when you finally see the tree, you might make some changes. But when you get an idea, you really do see the whole tree, but it's in an abstract form. So when it comes time for this element, you think back of that idea and you say, am I being true to that idea? Am I being true to that? Am I being true to that idea? And you go like that. A person can have ideas and find a way to learn enough technology to do what they want to do. Learning by doing is, to me, a great way to do it. And most of all the things are common sense. So if you have the idea, you can think up a way to realize that idea. And there's cheap ways to go, middle of the road ways to go, and super expensive ways to go. So you can do a lot with a little bit of money and figure out ways, to make it work. And not make it work like Amateurville, but really make it work. You can't go in so fast.
You want to go in?
You do shadow on shadow.
On
and
shadow.
Go slower on that, Eric. Jeez, man. Finesse it, yes. Jeez. Paint with a fine brush. Here we go. A little smile at Emily. Go, Eric. You guys. People do contribute to a film. And in the beginning, it's very important to talk so that everybody is going along on the same track. based on that original idea. And then they add in their talents, you know, along the way, and the thing shines. DV filmmaking is the same as every other kind of filmmaking, except the quality is different, the length of a take is different, the lightness of the cameras is different. It's digital, and it means that you can manipulate it in almost countless ways when you're finished. It's a magical medium to me, and it reminds me of the early days of 35 with less sharpness and more room to dream. Script writing is just writing down the ideas so that you understand that they reflect that idea. It's not a final thing in and of itself. It's a blueprint for the film. And so a lot of organizing is done in that stage. And but it's not so important to me about the writing quality as about, you know, getting those ideas so you don't forget them. Now we're getting dangerously close to shooting.
Rolling, quiet please.
Sound speed.
At the beginning of a day of shooting, it's like there's a great gorge with thousands of feet, you know, down to some, you know, watery, rocky depth. And you begin working and build a glass bridge across this gorge. And only after you've gotten the last piece, it turns to steel. And that's sort of the way I think about a day's shooting. This scene is like any other scene. We had 3 cameras, but we weren't using 3 cameras all the time. And I can grab a camera and shoot something, and there's something about holding the camera and feeling a move or a certain framing based on what you're hearing and seeing. The freedom of the thing is what I love. Long takes, 40-minute takes, you don't worry about things like this. It doesn't require the same amount of number of crew. All the parts, all the pieces surrounding a DV camera are a little more lightweight and, you know, compact. And they're inventing many, many more little rigs, you know, to smooth things out and make it go nicer, and it's getting better and better quality all the time. DV sees in the dark. This particular scene has 3 lights, and the middle light will need adjusting in timing and color correction. The final lighting is very dark, but it's hard to get very dark, and people are afraid of very dark. I just like it because it looks very dark. It's the way it's supposed to look. In 35 millimeter, you don't get to see it till it comes back from the lab. DV gives you that opportunity. It's unbelievable. And if you've got a monitor, you just play it back through the monitor and look at it.